Hi friend, it's Jayma here. Today I have the 4 brand new scrapbooking kits that are releasing from Stampin' Up! On September 3rd. So I'm giving you a little sneak peek because there is so much releasing on the 3rd. I wanted to give you a little bit of advance notice. There's tons more coming in the September to December mini catalog as well as an online exclusive release. Lots of new products to come, so you're gonna have to pace yourself just like I have. I have focused on the scrapbooking kits and Christmas products for what I purchased first, and I'll show you the rest of the products that I purchased next week. But today I'm focusing on the scrapbooking kits because I know you guys like to see a close-up of everything that's included, and I will also show you how they compare to the coordinating paper packs, to 3 of them. I forgot to order one of them, but I have 3 of the paper packs, so I'll show you how they compare. So let's go ahead and take a look on my desk.
Okay, so we have Lovely Florals, Sweet Halloween, Peaceful Days, and Keeping Traditions. These first 2 are part of the online exclusive release, and the second 2 are part of the mini catalog, and they all have coordinating paper packs. So let's take a look at the Lovely Florals first. Okay, so here is a scrapbook kit, and I want to point out that the scrapbook kits come in the nice zip top bags, and the coordinating paper pack actually came out in the last online exclusive. It coordinates with the floral charm paper. So let's take a look at how they compare and contrast. First, let's look at the scrapbooking kit. Now, all the scrapbooking kits, as usual, come with a guide that has a full color picture of the 3 2-page layouts that you'll create, and all of the cutting instructions are on the following pages. I want to point out that you're going to have lots of materials left over from this kit. You use a lot of it, but you still have a lot left over. So there is a close-up of the layouts. I think they're so cute. There's always tweaks that I will make, or a lot of times I will just do my own thing with the components from the kit to show you alternate ideas. But the next pages show you how to cut everything if you want to follow this guide exactly. It shows you how to cut each of the papers and then how to assemble them. And this even shows you like how far over or how far down to put everything. So it's very foolproof if you like to just follow directions and cut things and assemble them and have gorgeous layouts when you're done, then this is a great option. And it feels like you're still doing it from scratch because you're actually doing the cutting and all of that, and you have the liberty to make cutting changes or other changes that you don't always have when you're doing something that's completely pre-cut. So let's take a look at the paper. So typically the paper in the kit is not all of the patterns that are in the paper packs. So let me go ahead and flip each of these over. Now with the scrapbooking kit, they try to kind of tone some of the patterns down because a lot of times you don't want super busy papers behind your photos, so they tone a lot of things down. So here are these 2 tone-on-tone patterns. And then this is one of the patterns that's in the regular kit. And then here is the back of that, and I'll show you the regular kit in a moment. And then here is another tone on tone with the gorgeous purple on the back. Now I have a hard time using purple. I actually bought a purple shirt in hopes to hopefully have more photos to use purple with, but I feel like this super dark purple, which is Blackberry Bliss, almost can act as a neutral because it's so dark. So it's just something to keep in mind. But then you have this really bright purple, which I think is Petunia Pop. That's a little harder to play with, but it does often pair with pink nicely. Even though it's like a purpley pink, you can pair it nicely with pink, which I do tend to have more of. Now with the scrapbooking kits, so these are the regular DSPs that came with it, and then the scrapbooking kits also have additional paper that the regular DSP pack wouldn't have, that's specialty paper that's one-sided. So this is one-sided, and a lot of times they're designed to be like the background of a page. So you can see on here, you've got the circle there, that's the background of this page, and it looks like it's also going to be the background of this one, even though you're not going to see this circle part, it's there. So you can choose to alter this a little bit or use it in a different way if you want, but you get 2 of those. And then this is a cut apart page. So I did notice in the guide here that it had instructions for cutting apart these pieces. So it'll tell you, you know, layout 1F is this piece and it's 5 by 11. And so you'll use that on layout 1, piece F. So you've got 2 of those, so you'll probably use a bunch of them and then have some extras like the make time for fun. I bet you're only going to use 1 of them, so you'll have another one for another layout. And then you'll get all of the cardstock that you need. So let me grab all the cardstock and show you what is included. All right, so there is Mossy Meadow. So you've got 2 sheets of Mossy Meadow, and this is the two-tone cardstock, so it's lighter on one side, and then the true tone on the front. Here's Pretty Peacock, so you've got 2 of those. The Blackberry Bliss, you have 1 sheet. Here's Early Espresso, you have 1 sheet, and again, they're all a two-tone. And then this is the probably Petal Pink. It's more of a peach color. So you've got 1 of those, and then there's several white sheets. So there's 3 white sheets. So all of the cardstock that you need to create those layouts. So in addition to the papers, you get stickers and punch outs. And I love the punch outs because they're really easy to pop out. The way that they do it makes it super easy. And the only thing I like to do is sometimes you get those little nubs sticking where it was held to the paper. So I like to just take my scissors and just kind of trim those off before I use them. A lot of people don't do that. If it doesn't bother you, then you don't have to take that extra step, but I typically do that. So you've got some really nice large pieces that are great for scrapbooking, and little like sprig-like things that I love tucking in here and there. So these purpley ones here are for this layout, so you can see how beautiful they have all of these little floral clusters arranged. I really, really like this layout. I actually really like all of the layouts in this one. I might just make minor tweaks this time. So here's a bunch of the pieces. There's like little file pieces, a little like ruffly piece. And then here's another one. So we've got more of those pinky purple florals for that first layout, and then all of the other ones that you'll need. And then there's the sticker sheet. So these are all stickers, and these are really nice, high quality cardstock stickers. And I like that they have a matte finish. They're not shiny at all. So I appreciate that. Sometimes you'll have pieces like this left at the bottom of your sticker sheet where they haven't filled the whole thing with printed pieces. You can actually use this for journaling. So back when Close to My Heart was open, they had something called journal sticker strips, where it was just like a 6 by 12 sheet of paper, or of sticker sheet, and it was just strips of white stickers, and it was designed to be journaling strips. So here's what I'm talking about. I stocked up on them because I really, really like them, and they come in 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch. So if you want them a little bigger, you can have them a little bigger. I love these because it's easy to just write out your journaling and just keep writing. And then a lot of times I like, journal strips, and I'll just snip them along to fit the space that I have on my layout. Now, these are not available from Stampin' Up, but you can often get those pieces from this leftover sticker sheet. So you could cut this piece right at the printed area and then cut it down the middle, and you've got 2 long journaling strips. The other thing I want to point out is that these are supposed to be like 1/4 inch border strips. You've got 2 of them here, but then if you look at your sticker sheet, you still have a little bit of printing on either side. They're not even, so this one looks like about 1/8 of an inch, and that's maybe 3/16 of an inch, not quite 1/4 of an inch, but you can trim those down too. So when you're trimming this off, then you can trim a little piece of this off, and you have another skinny border and another skinny border. So don't throw those away. A lot of times, even that really skinny 1/8 of an inch border can make a big impact on a layout. And then of course you have all of the little word strips, which are always fun to add to your layouts. So that is what comes in the kit. Now let's compare the papers. I forgot to point out that they do come with the placeholders for your photos. So if you want to scrapbook those layouts and you don't have the photos yet, you can put in the placeholders. And when you do add your photos, if you cut them down just a little bit, then it will leave a white mat around your photos, which I always like. I usually scrapbook with my photos at the time of scrapbooking, but I will still often use these as white photo mats and just cut my photos down. So they are great for using in any of your scrapbook layouts. All right, so here's the comparison of the papers. On the right is the scrapbooking kit. Obviously, it does not come with as much paper because it has other components. And then here is the full DSP pack. So let's compare the patterns that you do get. So these ones look exactly the same. And then on the back is this orange piece, which is also one of the backs over here, and that looks exactly the same. So instead of putting a busy pattern on the back, they've made the fronts and backs more tone on tone, which works a little better with scrapbooking. And then this one here, that is this one, and that looks exactly the same. A lot of times with the bolder patterns, they might tone it down a little bit in the kit, but it looks like it is exactly the same here. And then the back is the green, which is also in the kit, and that is in exact. So they just have different fronts and backs. So move that out of the way. And then we've got the Deep Blackberry Bliss, which is also in the regular DSP. That is exactly the same. And then the back is this one, which has been turned to tone on tone. So that is actually, I think it's this pattern right here. And then they just turned it to peach and made it tone on tone. So you can see that it's the same pattern. Looks like it goes like this. You can see those flowers right here and right here look very similar. So they've just altered it a little bit. Might be a tiny bit smaller scale as well. But that is the comparison. Now the full DSP has a lot more patterns in it. So a lot more busy patterns, which are better suited for card making where you can get away with more busy patterns. But you know, they'll also make beautiful scrapbook layouts too. We have the one busy pattern in the kit. If you want to go a different colorway, like maybe with the blues and purples, or one of these other ones, this one looks very fallish to me, as does this one, then you have more options for your busy hero papers in the full DSP. I think this is gorgeous, and most of the time I love to get the scrapbooking kit and the DSP just so that I have more options. Next up is the Sweet Halloween Scrapbook Kit, and that goes along with the Spooky Sweet Specialty DSP. And this is a specialty DSP, so it's got something extra special to it, so I'll show you that and how it compares in a moment. But let's take a look at this guide. So there are the 3 2-page layouts that you'll create. And again, it has all the cutting instructions and assembly instructions and all of that. And then let's look at the paper that's included. I love this paper. This is in that other kit as well. It's so cute with all of the little candies and stars. I love it. And then the back is the bright petunia pop color. So pretty. And then this one is really fun. It almost looks like a chalkboard with the black and orange on it. And then there is the back. It's got some distressing, and then there's like little black dots in there too. It's really cute. I hope the camera's picking up on the fun details. And then we've got this one that's kind of orange and white distressed kind of stripes. And then the back of that looks almost like concrete. So a lot of these pages actually are very neutral. It was just that candy one that was, you know, the most Halloween-y. I think the most Halloween is going to come in the embellishments in this kit. And then here are 2 more patterns that are actually the specialty papers. So these are the one-sided ones that are specialty. So these are going to be different than what's in the regular paper pack. They're just for the scrapbooking kit. And then the cardstock you get is the 2 Petunia Pop. And then we've got 2 of, I don't know if this is Timid Tiger or Pumpkin Pie. It's Pumpkin Pie in this kit. So there's 2 Pumpkin Pie, and again, it's all the 2-tone cardstock. That's what always comes in the scrapbooking kits. And then we have 2 of the Granny Apple Green. And then we have some white. So there's 1, 2, 3 sheets of white cardstock. And if you're not familiar, the white willow cardstock from Stampin' Up! Is the same as the white daisy that Close to My Heart used to offer. I believe it's the same vendor and everything. All right, so here are the pop-out pieces, and I want you to notice how big everything is because there are pop-out pieces in the regular DSP pack, or the specialty DSP pack, but not the scrapbook kit. And but these ones are nice and big for scrapbooking. So you've got the fun tree, lots of bats and candy corn, and the little cauldron, and the cute hippo. So lots of fun punch outs here. And then here are some more. I love this big haunted house. So cute. And then this is the sticker sheet. And again, you've got space down here for some journaling strips. And then little word pieces. I love those. I love the stickers for the journaling spots too. And then the photo placeholders. So let's go ahead and pull in the DSP pack. Okay, so once again, scrapbook kit paper is on the right, and then the left is the specialty DSP. So first up, I wanted to show you the pop-out pieces. So you get 2 sheets of these with multiple designs, so you can make cards or layouts and have lots of the same pieces. So just take a look at how much bigger the scrapbooking pieces are. These are definitely workable for scrapbooking, and I'm planning to use some of them on my scrapbooking pages, but they are much more substantial in these pieces that come in the kit. So just wanted to point that out. And then again, just like the first one, a lot of the papers that are in the kit are the back sides, or the more neutral sides from over here. So we have this one where this piece is over here in the scrapbooking kit, but then this super fun one is not. This is just in the specialty DSP, and so there's lots of pieces you can cut apart here. If you cut it here on this line, you would have a really fun like bottom portion of your scrapbook layout. You could either make a single page, or you can use both pieces to create a double page layout. It just would repeat. And then you've got this middle portion here to add a fun fence along the bottom of your layout or bottom of your photos or something. And then there's these 3 cut apart pieces as well. So those are super fun for scrapbooking or for cards. And then this piece here, we have this fun candy piece in the kit, as well as the back side of it. So both of those made it in. They're just different on the front and back. And then this piece here, this busier one, we do not have in the scrapbooking kit, but this one we do. So that's right here. And then this one, there's these fun little labels, which would be really cute for little treat packs for Halloween, or these would even be really good if you cut out the tags of any of these. They'd be good on layouts too, not even necessarily for Halloween. And then the back side of that we have in the kit. And then the last piece, all of these cute little critters are not in the scrapbooking kit, but the back side is. So there's a little comparison of the two. Next up is the Keeping Traditions scrapbook kit, and then the paper pack that goes with it is a specialty paper pack, as it has this gorgeous gold foil and it's called Traditions of Christmas. So I will bring that in a moment. Let's take a look at these layouts. So here are the 3 double page layouts that you'll create. Again, cutting instructions, assembly instructions, and all of that. And then we have this gorgeous poinsettia paper. I love that one so much. And then we've got a nice stripe on the back. And then who doesn't love a good Secret C tone on tone? This is such a great new color. It's part of the 2025 to 2027 in colors. And I love it when they give us tone on tone Secret C, because it's such a good neutral. And on the back we have a tone on tone Old Olive Plaid. And then look at this pretty poinsettia, so pretty. Just wait until you see the stamps and dies that go with this collection. They're so good. I'll be showing them next week in my unboxing of all the products. And then the back is like, it looks like pink dots, red with pink dots. So pretty, love that. And then these are the specialty papers that are part of the scrapbooking kit. So I really love how they've done this, and they've made it look like you've already got the frame style border without having to cut and layer your papers like that. I love the tone on tone pattern here. I think this might be my favorite paper so far in these kits. That is so pretty. And then there's this one. This is another really good one. And there are two of those as well. That is really pretty. I love a notebook paper, using that for really anything. It's such a good neutral pattern, not just for back to school, but that is so pretty. I love that background. These are like the best backgrounds I've seen so far. And then before I get to the die cuts, let me show you the cardstock that comes with it. So here is a cherry cobbler, again, two-tone cardstock with a white core. I think this is Pool Party. There's one sheet of that as well. And then we've got Old Olive. And then Secret Sea, looks like we have 2 sheets of that one. And then the white, we have 2 sheets also. And then let's look at this sticker sheet. Ooh, that's so pretty. I really like how they used the non-traditional leaf colors on the poinsettias. That is so pretty. So it looks like Pool Party, Secret Sea with the poinsettias. You've got a little circle sticker for all of the numbers. So the odd numbers are white, the even numbers are red. This would be great if you do December daily. You've got easy numbers for your days now, or an advent calendar maybe. And then again, we've got the space to do journaling strips, stickers on the bottom. So that is a really great sticker sheet. I love that. And then the pop-out sheets are here. So you've got lots of ruffly borders here. Let's see what those are used for. That is on this page here. That's super cute. I actually have an idea for switching up this layout here with these little strips. I love the colors. They're so pretty. So we'll see what happens with this one. But that is super, super cute. Love those pop-outs. And then here's more of those fun poinsettias. These ones are in more traditional, well, sort of traditional colors. You've got the green, but then you still have Secret Sea. Secret Sea is such a good neutral color. I love that. And I love that you can use it for so-called greenery as well, or sprigs. And then there's some pink poinsettias, which are always fun. A little pink flower there. Some fun little pieces here. And then, of course, your photo placeholders. So let's look at how this compares to the DSP. Okay, side-by-side comparison. This one, as I mentioned, has gorgeous gold foiling. So this is a great example of why I quote-unquote need both of them, because look at how pretty that gold foiling is. It's so gorgeous. And I love using gold foiling for cards. I make a lot of Christmas cards because of the 31 Days of Christmas card event, and I send a Christmas card to all of my customers. And so I use a lot of Christmas paper. And so I love having an option that's for scrapbooking and card making, and, you know, just having lots of options. I didn't even get all of the paper that's in the catalog. But here is the comparison. Basically, it's the same pattern, but one has gold foiling and one doesn't. Gold foiling also, you know, adds a little bit of busyness to a layout, so a little gold foiling can go a long way. So I might use like one page of this in a scrapbook layout, but then the rest non-gold foil. And then you've got the option of either or and mixing and matching. So there's that one. And then this pattern we actually do have here in the scrapbooking kit as well. It looks like the color is just very, very slightly different. It's actually a little lighter in the specialty DSP pack. I don't know if that's on purpose, but it does look a little darker in the scrapbooking kit. And then we've got this one here. So here's the gold foil, gorgeous. So this pattern is not in the scrapbooking kit, but the back of it is. So we've got that here. Actually, it is in the scrapbooking kit. It looks different when it's not foiled, right? So I didn't recognize it at first. But so here is the beautiful gold foiled version and then the non-gold foiled version. And I think that this is actually just as pretty. It just doesn't have that gold foil detail. But yeah, so both of these are in both kits, just one with and without the gold foiling. Here's another one in the specialty DSP, and I don't think any of these patterns made it into the scrapbooking kit. So here is one that's exclusive to the DSP pack. And then this one kind of as well, although we do have this pattern around the border here. So it's just very slightly different. It's a little bit darker over here. Again, I'm not sure if that's on purpose or not, but same pattern, but we don't have this one over on the scrapbooking kit. So there's that one. And then here is the front and back of this piece. So we've got the striped one in the scrapbooking kit, but this one on top is exclusive to the paper pack. So this one looks like it's very similar to this, but it is different. So this one, we don't have this one in the scrapbooking kit. It's very similar to that other one. But then this piece here is in the scrapbooking kit. Again, it looks a little darker here. Not sure if that's on purpose, but so lots of them made it into the scrapbooking kit. There's actually, I think, more patterned paper in this kit than other kits, but there's a little bit less cardstock. So they always even it out some which way. So this one has a little less cardstock, but a little more patterned paper. All right, here is the Peaceful Days scrapbooking kit, and this is the one where I forgot to order the regular paper pack, but it'll be just like the other kits where the regular DSP pack has more of the busier patterns in it, and you can look in the catalog once it's available online on September 3rd to see exactly what those patterns are, but I will show you what is in the scrapbooking kit. So here are the layouts that you will create. And again, cutting instructions, assembling instructions, all that jazz. And then look at how beautiful the doves are. This is such a pretty color palette. I absolutely love it. That's a gorgeous pattern. I love kind of the distressing look that's in there. This is another absolutely gorgeous pattern. Absolutely love it. And then there's the back side of that one. This would be good for winter photos or Christmas photos. Really, really pretty. So love that. I think there's some gorgeous patterns in there. And then the specialty paper is this one, which is Secret Sea. And there's just, hopefully you can catch, there's just like a little bit of distressing around the page. So this is not cardstock, it's one of the specialty DSPs. And then there's this one. There's one of this one. That is really pretty. So this one is designed to be this background page. And at first when I looked at this, I thought that maybe these 3 circles were popped out of this piece here, but it's not. This is a full piece, which actually makes me happy, because one of the ideas I had for this particular layout is instead of having the circles just, 3 on each page kind of clustered with the photos on them, I wanted to spread the colors out and have them maybe on the same background, but have the circles kind of spread around the pages evenly. I love that look. So just another alternate idea there for you. And so when we get to the pop outs, we'll probably see all of these circles. So we've got this one sheet of, looks like pool party, one sheet of, this must be pecan pie, and then we've got 3 sheets of crumb cake, most likely, and then here are the pop-outs. So here's our circles, and I love how they have that same distressed look. So all the circles are just popped out on their own, so you can place them wherever you want on the page. There's these little white flowers. Those are super cute. I love the little trees. These are little sprigs. They've got a pretty large bleed meaning the printing goes pretty far outside where they actually cut. So they're actually daintier and smaller than they look when they're just in the page like that. So there's one pop-out sheet. Here is another one. Looks like I lost one of the flowers. It fell somewhere in there. And then we've got all of these beautiful doves. These are so pretty. And then the sticker sheet is this. So again, you've got space down here for those journaling strips, lots of sprigs in the stickers. I love these trees. They're super pretty. Those are gorgeous. You've got a half circle here, which is designed to be on this layout, but you could always pair it with these other circles too if you wanted to have like a half circle sticking out here or from a photo or something like that too, if you're going to change it up from the design. And then you've got the photo placeholders. I hope you enjoyed this in-depth look at the scrapbooking kits. I would love to know which one is your favorite. Let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe so you can see when I post the unboxing of what I got from the new mini catalog. On the screen right now is a video YouTube thinks you'll enjoy, so go ahead and click that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.